A static SOP can describe the work without making it executable. This weekly operations report has 5 instructions. Start with the first, collect weekly sales data. It sounds clear, but the workflow still does not know when to run, which source it can use, which fields are required, or what must be checked before it continues. Add those controls and one sentence becomes an executable workflow step. Now build the full system in 3 stages. Define the work, control the execution, and approve the output. Before the AI does anything, the workflow needs a clear starting condition and a controlled input. For this SOP, the trigger is Monday at 9 am. That turns the word weekly from a vague instruction into a scheduled event. Next, lock the approved source, the weekly sales export. The workflow should not pull from random folders, old reports, or manually edited copies. Then define the required fields: product, units, revenue, and refunds. Together, these fields form the minimum input contract for the task. At this point, the workflow knows when to start, which file it is allowed to use, and what information must be present before execution begins. Only then does it move into the execution stage. Once the workflow knows when to start and which input it can trust, it should still not execute immediately. First, it validates the input. Is this the approved weekly sales export? Does it cover the correct reporting week? Are product, units, revenue, and refunds all present? If any check fails, the workflow stops. It does not guess, fill the gap, or continue with partial data. The file moves into an exception path. The missing information is corrected, and the same validation runs again. Only after the input passes do the defined AI tasks begin. Read the approved fields, calculate the weekly totals, organize the results, and create a structured sales summary. That is controlled execution. The task runs only when the input is complete, the exception is resolved, and the result is ready for human review. Execution may be complete, but the workflow is not finished. The draft output now moves to a human review gate before anything is delivered. The reviewer checks 4 things: the reporting week, the totals against the approved source, the refunds total, and the required summary structure. If any check fails, delivery remains blocked. In this example, the refunds total does not match the source file. The summary returns for correction, and the same output checks run again. Only after every check passes is the output approved for delivery. That final gate is what separates an AI-generated draft from a controlled business workflow. The work starts from approved inputs, runs through defined AI tasks, handles exceptions, and ends with a verified output.